You can follow me on Instagram at self-titled Elle. So that's ELLE. That's me, baby. And yeah, check out the Femden Burlesque. Listen to my music and keep an eye out for the new drops. And with that, don't overthink it.
And you're listening to Third Coast Podcast, and we are deep in the void. I am on Vendor Row right now with the grilled cheese connoisseur herself, LH. Welcome to Third Coast Podcast. How are you doing this afternoon?
I am easy breezy, especially compared to last night. We had a crazy rush, so I'm just happy to be here with you, Joe.
How's everything been for you in Oakdale over the last couple of days? I came out for a little bit yesterday for the pre-party just to scope everything out, and it seemed like there was a lot of people already here having fun.
Yeah, we definitely have this like fam bam vibe going on at the booth. I've been doing this here for so long now. I think that it's just a staple, and it's something that people find comfort in, the things that they know. So yeah, it's just one of those things I hear a lot of people say it's part of the experience. You just got to come get a grilled cheese. So a lot of it's been old friends, old family, come and say hi, and a few new people, but it's still early in the festival, but we're still deep in it. So yeah.
So grilled cheese, and then you do it late at night too at the Void. Is that because at one point in time, when the Void was in its early stages, you were wandering around at 3 hungry? Or is that just you seen other people were hungry and you started making grilled cheese for them? And
Well, it first started my first year at Void. I was here working for another chef's booth, and they had, very like high class organic meals to offer. Something that I noticed throughout that interaction was there was a lot of people interested, but maybe couldn't afford it. So when the next year came around and I was looking for a feasible way to come to the festival, I thought that I could use my skills and, get a vendor booth. And yeah, for me, it's always just been about trying to feed people of like under $10. That's the goal every time. I just want to make sure people have a meal, cause I know a lot of times, especially like smaller festivals, people are spending like all the money they have to get out here and to have the things that they need. So sometimes like a hot grilled cheese is, it's just all you need to set you right for the night. So yeah, I guess it's mainly about making people feel welcome no matter the money in their pocket and make sure they have something. So yeah.
And when it goes, how do you make your grilled cheese? You just got you a griddle back there, or do you got you bring out a full flat top, or?
No, I have a plug-in griddle like from Walmart. Yeah, it's nothing fancy. I think it's really just about the love and the care that goes into it along the way. So it is like a grilled cheese stand, but we have an extensive menu. We offer different things for different people. So yeah, we make it work with what we have.
So outside of grilled cheese sandwiches, what else do you offer?
I'm a Jill of all treats. I'm a musician. I am an executive producer for a burlesque company in Lafayette. I've been a private chef on and off for the last couple years, and I do this whenever I can. So yeah, I think the main thing is I'm great when I'm doing a million things at once. If I'm just focused on one thing, I get too focused on that one thing, and I find it's a lot easier. Especially in this era of my life, I'm learning to not be so in control and to just let things to run their own course. So I think that this helps me to not be so meticulous, just let things happen.
Yeah, I need to take a little bit of advice from you on that, because I was kind of stressed out earlier with Alfred Banks. He said 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday, but he just messaged me back before the beginning of the show and was like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm at 10 p.m. at night.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, well, it'd be all right. I'll tap back. I just thought he was messaging, just going to do a no show,
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to take a lesson from you. Just let the world work the way it needs to work sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this is like something I'm still learning, it's especially been through, I think, the burlesque company, because it's really my first time in a role of leadership, and I'm honored and I'm blessed enough to work with and for people who've been doing this a lot longer than me. So I'm just grateful they trust me enough to do it, and I think the main thing is to know you're gonna make mistakes, and things are going to happen, things are going to go out of place, and you just have to know how to handle it and, try to not make the same mistake twice, I guess, is the thing I'm trying to stay on.
And that's in Lafayette, right?
Lafayette.
And what's the name of the company?
The Femden Burlesque.
So if I didn't know what that was, could you explain that to me?
Sure. A lot of people, when they hear burlesque, you might think of like a traditional boa style, New Orleans style, striptease. What we do at the Femden is definitely a huge incorporation of that. But I'd like to say it's also a mix of theatrics and music. So, we are an interesting group of performers. I think normally you might see drag performers, and that's someone who is, say, like a man who dresses as a woman for theatricals, or a woman who dresses as a man for theatricals, right? So drag performers are normally in their own world, their own bubble, and burlesque performers are looked at more as traditionally women in the past, women who were born women and identify as women and express as women. So we are a younger generation. We're taking things on a little differently. So we are a group of drag performers, burlesque performers. Some people are cosplayers. So if you're in like the anime community or the cosplay community, you love to go to conventions. You might see some of the people that you love to see at those conventions. And we have vocalists, we'll have actors come on and interrupt the show sometimes. So it's really just how do I put this? Sorry, I'm losing the word. It's an embodied experience. Like everybody gets a chance to be involved, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're a little hard to nail down, I guess. Sometimes you just got to come to the show to see the craziness.
And how long have you been doing that for?
It's been about 2 years. I think we're like approaching our third very soon. We're lucky enough to do it out of the Loose Caboose in Lafayette. Great owner, amazing person, just kind of lets us go and run wild and do what we want. So that's cool.
So if I was coming to one of the shows, is there like a specific etiquette that goes into burlesque versus you brought up like strippers and stuff like that, but
right.
Is there a certain etiquette that goes into watching that performance?
Yes, that's a great question to ask. So what we try to do is always have our MC, the person hosting the show, have the rules laid out before the show begins for everyone involved so that everyone has a good time, performers and, people in the crowd alike. The most thing that I can speak on is consent going both ways. So there is a sexual ambiance to things at times, not in every performance, but at times. And because of that, we try to make it clear that, while layers are coming off, as terms of like physical interaction, again, it's all about consent. So there's normally a physical cue that an MC or a host might give the crowd, say like, if you don't want to be touched and like a performer approaches you and maybe wants to graze your shoulder or like, ask you to pull something off of them, right? If you don't want to be touched as someone in the crowd, you can put your hands up and say, I'm good, right? That's like a nonverbal cue. And same for the performers. It's just to know like reading body language, keeping eye contact and knowing your bounds, knowing your limits, and knowing that you're not in a strip club. You're in a bar or a venue and you're watching a performance art that happens to have sexual undertones, but it's not the entirety of the performance.
Nice.
Cool.
That was well said.
Thanks.
Now me and the listeners are informed.
Yes.
So no throwing money when you go.
Oh, you can throw, baby.
You can throw money?
Throw money, just don't throw it like on us, you know. You don't want to like hit someone in the face with like a crumpled dollar bill, but you can like throw it on the stage, put it in the tip jar. Sometimes they'll ask you like if a dancer's comfortable and like they approach you, you know, you may want to like put it in their shirt, you may want to put it in their shorts, you know, just kind of. But again, a lot of it is about a performer being aware and knowing, you know, and I think also us having the proper training before we just like throw ourselves into these things, knowing, again, it is a game of consent and we want to make sure that every single person in the crowd is comfortable. So that's the thin line of like making you feel uncomfortable through art, but not through physical crossing of boundaries.
So you participate too also?
Yes. I love it. It's been an incredible time in my life these last couple years.
Awesome. So you love it then? I
love it. I have a weird history with dance though, so for me this has all been very healing. You know, I've grown up Cajun country, and you know, I've always been thick girl, I've been thick, and I would like to eat, darling, you know. And when I was younger, I was in dance class from like very young until I got older, and I think the social pressure of expectations of what a dancer is supposed to look like, that really ate away at me as a child. And eventually I just stopped doing what I loved because I thought I didn't have the right body type for it. And I do think that's something a lot of people, even, you know, no matter who you are, no matter what you identify with, a lot of people struggle to even just like dance out at bars. You know, you're worried about how you look or how it makes you seem to other people. And I think burlesque has been so powerful for me because it's been a chance to take back the stage. And that's another beautiful thing, is it's all these different body types, all these different shades, all these different identities. And so you really get to see beauty and sexuality in like all these different layers. And I think that's the main takeaway for a lot of people when they leave, is like, oh, I'm also beautiful. Like, oh, I'm also sexy. I can also do that. And that's the goal. So yeah, it's been nice to get back to like my ballet roots, my contemporary roots, and letting that grace come back to me. I think that it's in all of us as kids, just this like grace and being confident and just doing and going, right? And it's kind of instilled in us through time that it's scary or it's wrong or it's uncomfortable to be seen. So that's the rewire. That's what we're doing.
The judgment.
Yes.
Like you become so more consciously aware of what other people think about you instead of just doing what you want to do in the first place.
Right. Yeah. That's all that adulthood is, right? We're just trying to forget that.
And a lot of long hours too at work sometimes.
Yeah. Definitely. Got to put in the work sometimes though to get the result, you know?
So during, you're also a musician too. Do you incorporate your music skills with the burlesque show? And do you sing, Darren? Are you a singer? Or? So
I am a singer. I do like front or I guess you could call it an alternative rock band. We're a little bit of everything. But yeah, I have that I've been doing the last couple years, and I've been a musician since I could breathe. But as far as the burlesque go, that's really funny. The next show that I have coming up is like going to be the first time I incorporate any of my own vocals. I think I've been so focused on making sure the show is ran smoothly as producer and make sure everybody has what they need that, you know, sometimes if you're like leading things, you have to take a back seat on your own stuff, and that's part of it. So, this is going to be the first time in like the years that we've been doing it, October 18th, that I won't be singing live, but I'll have a recording of me in a mix that I'll be performing. So that'll be interesting.
Oh, that sounds great right there.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. If you ain't checked out Third Coast Podcast yet, check out Third Coast Podcast on 5000ws.thirdcoastpodcast.com on all major streaming platforms, Instagram, Facebook, well, that's social media, but yeah, all the social medias, Spotify, YouTube, XM Radio. Make sure to go like and subscribe. So I might be too much in the burlesque side,
you're good. You're good. It's a fascinating world.
Is it? So you said you have female, male, and trans performers. Mm-hmm. On the male side, is it hard to get male performers versus female or trans performers?
So there are not a lot of biological men who identify as men in the burlesque scene. That is like very hard to come by. That's very rare. There are some out there, some amazing performers out there. I just saw this one guy. He goes by Phantoms, and beautiful, like very sensual and slow and overwhelming in the way of like you can't take your eyes off of him, right? But you know, also when I refer to our male performers, I also refer to people who are, you know, maybe in between those ideas or those labels, people who are non-binary or maybe identify as like female one day, male another day. So we have fortunately, we have specifically an amazing drag king that we work with, King Katya. And this is like a newer drag king in the scene, but this is someone who's worked as a queen as well with us for a long time. So, in that realm, it's the whole idea of burlesque. It can get really confusing for people who maybe haven't heard these terms before and maybe, you know, overwhelming to think of it all laid out into one thing. So keep in mind that with these shows, we are challenging the idea of expectations, right? Of beauty, of size, of, you know, how loud should like a bigger woman be in a scene, right? How naked should she be in a scene? How covered, how quiet, right? So we're trying to challenge the idea of expectations that we put on each other when we go out into the world. So the labels of people's identity doesn't matter as much as it does just the expression of what they're doing and how it makes you feel. So some people come in feminine and will have beautiful makeup and big hair and cinched waists. And then some people will come in masculine with like 10-pound chest pieces that like cover their like natural, you know, chest. And that's like abs and like strong muscles and like fake mustache, you know, and it's very theatrical in the sense of, people just exploring identity, right?
You need to give me the link to the abs thing so I can wear that around, just general speaking.
Oh my god, I think it's like 10-pound silicone, so it's definitely like a workout. It's gotta be a workout to dance in, I can't imagine. On me, girl.
Oh, it's to cover up everything right here?
All of this, darling. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like really thick, and it's like, you know, it's like, it looks like skin, and you put it over. It's very interesting, yeah. You could, though. You could put it on.
Yeah, I might.
Run it.
Hey, if y'all see me with abs, all of a sudden, y'all know why. Because I was hard in the gym working out.
Exactly. Eating clean. Yes.
So, with that, have you had any... Because there's got to be like some bad experiences with that too, huh? I just got to imagine there's some dude out there that fucked up a show, got to.
I will say we're very thankful that we haven't had that. We are smart enough to always have security, and we make like our security discreet but known. Like anyone who pays attention sees that they are like guarding the spaces that are important. So like the green room where everyone's getting changed and dressed, right? Like that stays guarded with the security as well as the front door, of course. I think the most rowdy we've gotten is definitely Mardi Gras because we just get all the stragglers from like the parade route, right? But I don't know. I can't really think of any huge thing. I would say probably just like learning as I go. You know, I'm 24, and a lot of the people that I am working with and for are, you know, like a couple years to 10 years older than me and like have so much more experience. So, it's not been a negative thing. I would say that it's probably the only like hardest thing of it is me, continuously learning, right? And you have to stay humble when you're like that because I know that I have a lot of learning to do. So, you know, just kind of being in that teacher mode while also being the student constantly. So, yeah, that's probably been the most. But as far as rowdy or funny goes, man, yeah, I don't know. I can say like I hate to be that person, but I run a pretty tight ship. I really don't. I don't welcome that energy, and I hope that it's seen on my face when these people come to the show because, yeah, it's most definitely supposed to be a safe space of expression for everybody. And if one person, you know, tries to throw that off, that is easily taken care of. So, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, now for the listeners out there, they'll be knowing that your show is going to be A1 and perfect to go to. And when do y'all do this in Lafayette? And you said it's at the Loose Caboose, right?
Yeah, the Loose Caboose is where we have been these last couple years. And yeah, we do this about once every couple months. There's all these other amazing burlesque groups in Lafayette. So, we try to give everybody their time to shine, right? And have that demand still, met. So we have one October 18th. And I'll actually be having like a birthday party there as well for me and another friend on November 8th. That'll be its own burlesque show. And after that, we'll probably have like some Mardi Gras events and things. But people can look at our Instagram. It's the Femden Burlesque. That's FEM for the Fem. And they can check it out and look at our flyers and maybe check out some of the lineup because we got some pretty amazing people. So yeah.
Oh, most definitely. I hope everybody out there takes the time to go and experience that. I'm gonna have to take time to experience that too myself.
Come on out, Joe.
How big is the crowds usually?
Oh, I'm so grateful to say that we reach capacity just about every time we do this. It's been amazing. Let me see. October 18th, we're doing a horror burlesque show. So it's called Body Count, and it's going to be co-produced by a friend of mine, Justice Gay. She's the one spearheading the theme and the idea. She's one of the cosplayers that I mentioned who's, I know she's very respected in that community, and she's a darling doll to be around. So I'm really excited to work with her on that and have people come out. But yeah. Sorry, I think I forgot your question. My bad.
No, I've already forgot. I forgot what I tried to ask you. My bad. So, what's going on with your music? Let me ask a little bit about that.
Okay. Wait, let me...
Oh, no, you're fine. And you're listening to Third Coast Podcast. And I'm Joe. What it do, Gators?
I love it. No, I love it.
The Void.
That's like I need that as like a beat sample. Like, what it do, Gators? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just heard it.
So you sample music too?
No. In my brain. Every day in my brain. I've got so many mixes and collabs up here. Okay, yes, music. I'm actually so excited to talk about this. I have a single that we've been working on. Obviously, I have like an album out with my band, Too Much. It's been out for over a year now. And we're going to be shooting a music video and a short film in a couple weeks, actually. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I reached out to you because I seen your short film, and I was like, man, I've done big shout out to Open Heart Productions out of West Monroe, Louisiana, for letting me and Kobai join in on the rake investigation. And I seen your post about it, and you sent me the link, abusive male lead role. I'm like, nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do that at all. I mean, I appreciate the sentiment and the gesture, but I just couldn't see myself being portrayed like that.
Yeah, no, that's totally valid. There has been like a lot of guys who are interested and then, maybe hear more the extent about the short film and what we're doing. And it's very valid. I will say it definitely would take a very like sensitive and safe man who has maybe even been through that himself and experienced things, and we're still looking. We're still looking for him, but I'm going to find him. I have no doubt about it. So.
So that's been a bump in the road with that process?
Not a bump. I expected it. So, but the point of the short film, if I can go on a little spew here, the short film is going to be coming off of the music video for the single that we're, about to have out. And this single is really all about, that desire to be needed, that desire to be wanted, and that abandonment wound that we all experience at whatever depth and whatever point in your life. So for me, this was kind of a letter to my father and just being very vulnerable with myself about expectations there and push and pull and how that has affected me, growing into my 20s and, experiencing men in my life. So the music video is going to be very soft, very sweet, very much about the family you create when you are lacking in that, say that like ancestral family. So we're going to be talking about, sisterhood and friendships and how you need to rely on that in order to pull yourself out of that funk and create your own family when you don't have it. And then after that, the short film is going to be about the patterns that we see as we start to walk away from, our family in the past, people who used to hurt us, people who used to hold us down. And we're mainly going to be touching on how these are patterns that just repeat and repeat until you catch it and you find a way to redirect it. So, it's definitely an uncomfortable topic about, say like abuse and addiction, but it's also unfortunately something I know almost every single woman I know has a story and has something that she can say to relate to and understand. And I know a lot of men who are really confused about how they can help women. I hear a lot of guys who are struggling. They feel like they are good guys, but it doesn't come across, or they don't know how to connect with women. I think that they also need, maybe that perspective to see what we're dealing with. So that I think the whole point of it is to know that the film is definitely not to villainize men at all. We want to talk about not only the patterns that take place, say, on my end, being a woman who's been through like abusive scenarios and gotten herself out, but also why did that man become abusive? What patterns was in his life? Where was he taught that was okay, right? Where does that happen? And I think both things are detrimental to people, and so it's important to talk about. If we don't talk about it, then, a lot of women go unheard, a lot of men go unheard, and no matter who you are, no matter what you identify with, we've all, maybe had those experiences of feeling at the whim of other people, other jobs, other communities. And it's a vulnerable feeling. And not a lot of people know how to comfortably stand in it. I will say, very plainly that me speaking about my experience and me being honest has it's caused a lot of people to step forward and support me and share their own experiences, which I'm very grateful for. And it's also caused a lot of people to create distance with me. I think that there's a lot of fear around talking about uncomfortable things, talking about the hard things. But again, I don't know. I kind of have that mindset of if no one's going to do it, I'm going to do it, because everybody kind of thinks oh, the next person will do it. I think of this, the best example I can give for this on a small scale is when you're driving and there's something in the middle of the road, right? I will pull over. I'm in heels, hair teased, waist cinched, titties out. I pull over and I will grab that box, that tire out of the road, because everyone who passes says the next person will do it. The next person will do it. Someone will move it. Well, eventually someone's got to do it, right? So, I'd rather just be proactive and talk about these things and try and find a solution, because I don't want to live my life in fear, and I don't want to live my life being skeptical of all men. I want to be open. I want to love and be soft. I think a lot of women do. So, we got to get the grime out first.
It's very deep and passionate.
Yes. Sorry.
Putting your heart putting your heart out there like that, and then wanting to acknowledge both sides. You're right. It can be very tough. But that's great that you're using that past to have a brighter future, and a brighter future on the inside for yourself personally, and doing that through your music, and now going to do a short film. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Are you planning to do all the recordings and mics and set up yourself?
So I'm thankful to be working with JG the GOAT, JG Media. So he mainly works out of Hammond, but he's a great guy, and he's filmed stuff for the FemDen in the past. So he'll be the one helping me co-direct and getting everything together. As far as the music goes, I record everything with my guitarist, Matthew Richard, and LH. Sometimes people know us as LH and the Untitled. It's just so people know if I'm alone or with the band, right? But he has a great studio setup, and he's been amazing. He's the one who's done most of all of the mastering for Too Much, this last album. I was able to go in and edit my vocals and things like that, and I'm learning this time around how to like keep up with him in terms of mixing the instrumentals and things. So I'm learning, like I said, but yeah, he's been great. He's been like a backbone of us getting these songs out and having everything recorded. So yeah, I'm excited to work with JG. I'm grateful for Matt, and we're keeping it going.
My bad. And the Untitled, who are they and their names and instruments they play?
Yeah. So like I said, we have like the album is under just LH on Spotify. It was really to just keep all of my music under one catalog and not try to have it on a different artist profile. All these streaming platforms are weird for that. I'm sorry. They make things really hard for a multimedia kind of artist, but I digress on that one. Sorry, what did you ask me?
The other members of the...
Yes. So yeah, we go by LH and the Untitled, as a live 4-piece band. And the name is really just to spark confusion and conversation. The idea is that we are undefined. So we're under the guise of rock, but we do funk, we do punk, pop, swamp. It's a bunch of everything. But we have Chris Myers on the drums. We have Gray Walker on bass guitar and Matthew Richard on lead guitar. All of these guys are in their own projects. They all have amazing music out and amazing voices themselves. So you can check out First Street Hooligans. You can check out the Gray Walker Band, Zizai, Delta Skelter, and, LH. So I think that's all of them. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Oh, Colby Lachelet and Ambush. They play with those guys too. So it's very wide range in sound.
Oh, I see that. And they're all from Lafayette area too?
Yeah, a lot of us are actually from Central Acadian, so like Crowley, Eunice, Richard, Rain, and Lafayette, yeah.
Oh, a whole bunch of Creole people.
A bunch of country people, darling.
Well, LH, do you have anything for me? You have any questions? I like to ask people if they have anything.
Let's see. Hold on.
Yes, I grew this beard yesterday.
You sure it's not glued on?
It might be.
Look, in the world I'm from, that's normal.
Oh.
You can't trust a single beard in this crowd.
Oh,
not anymore, honey.
Oh, it's all natural. I'm losing it up top, so thankfully it gravitated to the bottom.
Who is like your most interesting person that you've interviewed? Like who's that interview that you just can't forget and you'd love to talk about?
There's two.
Give it to me.
There's two now, because recording with Mr. Steve on the last episode, well, let's just be two. Well, anyways, recording with Mr. Steve Staples and International Vintage Guitars is definitely up there, because he's 73, had a whole bunch of life stories, and I gave him an interview that no one else has given him in the past, because in the past everybody just looks at his music and wants to talk about that and a few other things, but no one ever wanted to talk about his business he had for 33 years, and he's 73. And all the cool people he met, it was just so informative. I just felt like I gave him something that he can keep forever. And like, if someone in his family wants to remember Mr. Steve, they can go listen to the episode, and they can always, bring him back to life with his own voice, not just his songs on a stage or on an album or a CD, but his actual heartfelt experiences in life and stuff.
No, that's amazing. That's a great gift.
And then the number one would have to be recording with Randy Jack. You know who Zebra is?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I know what episode you're talking about.
I got to meet me and my dad. My dad's a big Zebra fan, and he got to see him growing up live when they were touring all around, actually Sinlaw and stuff. And I had messaged Randy Jackson out the blue. Was like, hey, big fan. You're from Louisiana. And I just told him send him a big ass paragraph, and I didn't get nothing back for months. And you go look through old messages, and I go to delete, and well, they don't care. And I deleted it, and the message popped up the next day.
Wow.
Sorry for the late reply. And then he ended up doing a phone-in interview from New York, and my dad sat in, and my dad had questions, I had questions, but it was just like growing up, my dad used to listen to this music, be Saturday evening, LSU loss, he's talking about the Saints are about to lose, and he's drinking, barbecuing and what, and he would always play Zebra and tell me about it. Son, I used to listen to them, da 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 da. So when Randy Jackson replied, I had to get my dad on, and it just,
wow.
I mean, you can only listen to it. You won't be able to see it on the YouTube. It's an older episode, but it's just one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, no, I love that so much. I love that. I think it just goes to show, another thing I'm learning lately is you just have to ask. You just have to put yourself out there. It's okay. Like I'm learning, like, it's not the end of the world to inconvenience people, if you know what I'm saying. Like, be polite, be kind, but put yourself out there. It's okay to be a little pushy sometimes for the things that we really want. And, like, how cool is that? Like, how many people would just talk themselves out of not doing it? Like, oh, he's not going to respond. That's a waste of my time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's amazing. I love that. I need to DM all the artists I love, like, right now.
Now, I have messaged some people that ain't never replied. Joe Horn of the Saints. Why can't you reply? I know you ain't doing nothing. You're retired now.
You said that so... Joe Horn.
You know what I'm talking about?
Of the Saints. I don't, but you said it so diva.
Oh, really?
You were like, yeah, like Vendetta. Joe, what's the problem? Why do you hate Third Coast Podcast? I just want to talk. Sorry.
No, the worst thing someone can do is say no, and you just move on, because when someone says no, that's just an opportunity they're losing for a chance to be a part of what we got going on.
Yeah, man.
The 8th ranked podcast in Louisiana currently. Next to Fox Sports Podcast. We're coming for number 7.
Okay.
But
and is.
LH, is there anything else you got before we go? You want to tag your handles?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram at self-titled Elle. So that's ELLE. That's me, baby. And yeah, check out the Femden Burlesque. Listen to my music and keep an eye out for the new drops. And I don't know, when are you dropping this, love?
Let me see. This is the second one I recorded. So probably mid next week, I would say. Maybe Friday, Thursday.
Okay, well, if you are like a masculine figure and you'd want to be a part of a short film taking place in Lafayette, and you like what we're talking about, and, you want to defy the odds and hold the container for us, then, contact me. Let me know.
All right.
Cool. That's it.
We end the show with words of wisdom. Do you have any words of wisdom for the listeners out there today?
I really wish I had something really funny to say. Just like in like a boss. And with that, don't overthink it.
Perfect. Thank you
Cool.
so much for joining me, LH. It's been a pleasure and an honor. And
Thank you,
I
Joe.
hope you
It's
had
been nice.
fun.
Yes, I did. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
But I'm Joe. What it do, Gators? And we out.
Bye-bye. Cool. That was so fun. Thank you, Joe.
No, thank you for joining.
That was so cool.